Commissioners Brooks, Matari, and Duncan with Commissioner Brooks on the phone. Please join me in a moment of silence. Okay, and now for our Pledge of Allegiance, Lieutenant Helen. Would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Are there changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Public comments? Okay, hearing none. I would take a motion for meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes, items 1 and 2.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. And consent calendar?
I move that we approve the consent calendar, items 3 through 5.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Payables?
I move that we approve payables for December 2 through 6, 2024, in the amount of $3,549,596.95 and jury panel payments in the amount of $2,301.68.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 7. This is a financial budget request. It's authorization to purchase a high-volume blower for Parks and Waterways. Director Snyder, are you on the line?
Yes, Commissioner. Nick Snyder for the record. Indeed, before you is a request to expend $11,549 from the Highway 95 Trail Fund, which, as you stated, is necessary to purchase a high-volume blower that will be used to clean and maintain the Highway 95 trail. And these are dedicated funds, and the board might recall they are the funds that we received recently from ITD.
Yes. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve and authorize expense of $11,549 to purchase a high-volume blower with Parks and Waterways.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Item 8, board approval request. This is the acceptance of the annual Walmart grant in the amount of $4,000, and it's the Spark grant for Holidays and Heroes. And Deputy Mohawk, if you would speak to this.
Deputy Mohawk.
You need to push the button. Thank you.
Deputy Mohawk with the Sheriff's Office. Yep, before you is a request to accept donations from the Walmart Spark Good Grant. It's $4,000. They do it for us annually, and it's no money out of our budget.
And it's for Holidays and Heroes to take
That's
young
correct.
ones
Yep.
shopping.
Yep, to take children shopping this Sunday on the 15th.
Okay. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve the request to accept the annual Walmart grant of $4,000 for the Walmart Spark grant for Holidays and Heroes with the Sheriff's Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 9. Thank you. Board approval request. This is for the K-9, and it's a request to transfer the insurance reimbursement to the K-9 donation account. And Lieutenant Hedlund.
Lieutenant Eric Hedlund, for the record. Commissioners, good afternoon. November 4th, 2024, the board approved the medical retirement of K-9 Lord. That was resolution 2024-81. Last week on the 3rd, the board approved our request to purchase a new K-9 to replace K-9 Lord. We did put in an ICRIMP through Human Resources, a ICRIMP claim for the loss of K-9 Lord and the ancillary costs. That claim was approved in full or awarded in full, $22,874. After the $1,500 deductible, we received a check for $21,374. So our request today is that those funds go from the insurance reimbursement they go to the K-9 donation account from the general fund, or wherever they're placed right now.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve the request to transfer insurance reimbursement to the K-9 donation account with the Sheriff's Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right. Item 10, board approval request, and this is for the volunteer search and rescue kitchen electrical update in our Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Miller, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Sergeant Ryan Miller for the record. Yes, this is a continuation of the project that we've been working on for the past year and a half to update the search and rescue building. This is the final stages. It's the kitchen. We already have all the appliances purchased before getting them installed. We had an electrician come look at the panel, and it was not up to code for a kitchen, which we were replacing an existing kitchen. So this is to get them that kitchen up to date and up to code. The plumbing and the gas that needs to get put in is going to be covered by the donation dollars, and the volunteers are putting in time to do all the installations. So this request is for $7,500 from the general fund to assist with the to get the electrical part up to code.
All right. Questions for Sergeant Miller?
I mean, we don't have a choice in this matter. We have to get it up to code, so.
Exactly.
I move that we approve the request for the VSAR kitchen electrical update with the Sheriff's Office.
I would just
I
add,
second the motion.
sorry, I would just add for $7,500 from fund balance.
For $7,500 from fund balance.
I second that motion too.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. Thank you. All right, number 11.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. This is a quote approval for a 2024 Can-Am SSV DEF Max LT. It's from Specialty Recreation and Marine and our 911. Mr. McCroy, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Colin McCroy, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office 911 for the record. Before you is a quote from Specialty Recreation and Marine for the purchase of a 2024 Can-Am they have on the lot. This was a 2025 fiscal year capital budget request, which made it through the budget process and is in our allotted budget for $60,000. That's for the purchase of the UTV itself and the trailer and a few accessories. This is the purchase for that Can-Am from Specialty Recreation and Marine. Total cost from them is $38,062.80.
Which is about $22,000 less than what you budgeted for.
Correct. We do have to purchase the trailer, which is about $2,400, I believe.
Okay.
And there's a few other minor winch accessory and chainsaw to go with the project to beyond the UTV. But other than that, there's no other major purchases to go along with the project.
Okay.
And this is dedicated E911 funded
Right.
in the budget.
Sure. And I did speak in opposition to it during the budget, and I will probably, well, I'm going to still be in opposition to it. So just so you're not surprised. So questions, motion?
Well, first of all, there's no truck going with this trailer, right?
No, we
Oh,
we
okay,
have
so
the, we
that's
have
good.
the vehicles
Yeah.
all already that will.
Okay,
so
all right.
no additional truck purchase
Yeah,
requirement.
And this is so that you can reach the summit of the hills where the antenna are for the 911 system. Is that correct?
For the radio system during the winter during site visits.
For basic routine maintenance.
For any emergency visits and planned. Currently, we do not do any planned non-emergency, just checkup visits during the winter, and that is the intent of this, to be able to have a vehicle to do that is assigned specifically to the 911 section.
And so the planned visits are what allow you to identify an issue before there could be a failure if you're up there.
Correct. All of our winter site visits, which we generally have, we've had 2 visits during one was much more where if we had done a site visit Prior to that, during the winter, it would have been identified at that visit before it became a critical, we must go now.
Yeah.
With a rush, with a pending site problem, whereas we can identify it earlier on.
And it typically costs more money when we have to deal with that versus being proactive. and seeing
Correct.
these things. Yeah.
Usually that requires an additional vendor to come with us, which then costs that vendor versus planning and getting that part and doing it ourselves essentially.
Okay, well, I have no other questions. Thank you.
So what other departments had you borrowed side-by-sides from in the past?
On previous visits, we've all borrowed from backcountry with a deputy to take us up there. So we pulled that. We've borrowed search and rescues and backcountry, but each time pulling a backcountry deputy to drive that resource for us.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the quote for the 2024 Can-Am SSV DEF Max LT Specialty Recreation and Marine with 911.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Nay. All right, thank you. Item 12, this is an administrative services contract for 2024 with Regence of Blueshield of Idaho, Inc. And Ms. Proud, please.
Good afternoon, Board. Last week, the Board had approved the addendums for the 2024 Regence agreements, and today I'm requesting that the Board approve the 2024 admin services contract with Regence.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve the administrative services contract for 2024 with Regence Blueshield of Idaho, Inc. and Human Resources.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 13, board approval request. This is the Wellspring Meadows grant agreement with BOCC, and Caitlin Smith, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This item is a county-funded award agreement between Kootenai County and Wellspring Meadows to provide funding for retention and sign-on bonuses for direct care staff employed by Wellspring Meadows. This agreement replaces 2 ARPA-funded subawards, which shall be closed out and superseded by execution of this agreement. The proposed award is in the amount of either $129,360 or $159,168.40. The period of performance by which Wellspring Meadows must expend all awarded funds is December 31st, 2026. And I bring these before you today to select the award amount and approve the version of the agreement with the selected amount.
Okay, thoughts on the agreement?
I'm curious on yours. You actually weren't here this morning when we had that, so I'd be curious what your thoughts. Plus, you have been working with them, outside of these board meetings.
Well, I really could go either way at this point, only because the first period was not expended in the right time frame. However, the money is going out, whether it goes out in the form of audits or it goes out in the form of actual help to our community. That's kind of where I'm at.
Bill, do you have any thoughts? Because a lot of this stuff was really decided before I came on board as a commissioner.
Yeah, I would tend to go with the with the option that provides the most help to the community and not for audits.
Yeah, the only thing that stood out to me was just having a 30-day termination clause in there. And under what circumstances would that be initiated? Because it says at any time without cause by either party. Which I thought was strange for a grant type situation.
Well, this wouldn't be a grant any longer. This would just kind of be a community support.
Well, it's a grant agreement. That's why. It's titled a grant agreement. The recipient is referred to as grantee, which I would assume the county is the grantor in this particular situation. And we do have some, requirements that the money get used in a certain way, with some ability to report for it and account for it. But,
Yeah, I don't have an answer to the question about why
but,
30 days.
It certainly opens the door that if a future board wants to revisit it, they certainly can. So I'm fine with that.
So you're fine with the extended amount?
Yeah, because, we obviously want to make sure that the money gets used appropriately within a time frame. And if it looks like there's something where it's not being done, it has an option for a future board to look at that and decide whether they want to continue.
Okay.
Which, again, I assume that was the intention of having a termination clause in there.
Yeah, I didn't speak to Pat on every single clause in this, so
Yeah,
that's,
performance and termination are your two most important components in a contract because they tell you what you're supposed to do and how you can get out if things don't work right. So, next to choice of law and venue.
well, it sounds you have an agreement for the extended amount, so I would entertain a motion.
So does that mean that both of you are good with the extended amount?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I move that we approve the request for the Wellspring Meadows grant agreement for the extended amount with the BOCC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. And then there was just one typo on page 1 that's already been corrected, sent the correction through BOCC, so.
Correct. And I will present a memo at next week's business meeting to formally reallocate any ARPA funds de-obligated by this agreement.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you bet. All right, item 14, board approval request. This is a policy for jury food, and it's a BOCC policy. I had our executive assistant looking at some charges and some ways to save some money and streamline some things. And the result is this policy, and essentially it just states food purchased for juries who cannot leave during trials or whatever they're held over from the judge, that the food purchase has to be at the under the maximum rates set by federal rate, and that we would supply drinks purchased more like at a grocery store rather than restaurants, which tend to be the most expensive part. So, any thoughts on it?
It'll save us money.
Yes. Yep. Bill?
I think it's fine what you've done as far as just keeping an eye on what's spent. So I have no problem. I would agree with it.
Okay. Motion.
I move that we approve the policy for jury food with the BOCC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right. Next, item 15, Resolution 2024-88, and this is the fiscal year 24 contingency usage for conflict attorneys. And it's with our auditor's office. Ms. Falcon, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Brandy Falcon for the record. This is the resolution that was presented at the board's status update meeting this morning, and essentially this is a resolution we do after the end of every fiscal year to reallocate contingency funds to either certain elected officials or certain budgeted line items that went significantly over budget that we weren't able to predict. So this year specifically, we're requesting the board reallocate some contingency funds to the expense of the conflict attorneys in the Justice Fund. This budget line is overseen by the BOCC. There was some discussion this morning of why that line did go over budget. I honestly, Commissioner Duncan would probably be able to speak to that better than me. The operations of those conflict attorneys. So if there's no other questions, I'm just looking for approval of the resolution.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-88 FY24 contingency usage for conflict attorneys with the Auditor's Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Thank you. All right, item 16, Resolution 2024-89, and this is fiscal year 24 unanticipated revenue resolution with our Auditor's Office. Ms. Falcon again.
Hi, Commissioners. Brandy Falcon for the record again. This is, again, an annual resolution that we bring forward at the end of every fiscal year. It is to memorialize all of the budget amendments that were made throughout the fiscal year. All of these were pretty much all derived from board approvals throughout the year. The budget amendments to revenue have to do with our capital carry forward resolution, usage of general and restricted fund balances, and then grant awards and amendments. At the very end, there's a couple specific items, such as utilizing Title III funds, tobacco tax, and auction proceeds. So again, this resolution is just memorializing all budget amendments made during the year to our revenues.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-89 FY24 unanticipated revenue resolution with the Auditor's Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Thank you. All right, item 17, this is Resolution 2024-90, and it's the sole source procurement of ballots and election mailing services with K&H Integrated Print Solutions, and it's kind of the technical part that we had to bring forward after the approval, so.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Asa Gray for the record. Today before you is a resolution laying out the reasons for declaring K&H Integrated Print Solutions as the sole source provider of ballots and election mailing services for the Elections Department. And if there are any questions regarding that, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-90 sole source procurement of ballots and election mailing services with K&H Integrated Print Solutions and our Elections Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Thank you, Asa. All right, item 18, Resolution 2024-91, and this is another sole source procurement of camera and door access systems for the Justice Building expansion and our IT. Mr. Kinsey, please.
Thank you, Commissioners. Grant Kinsey, Network Administrator for the record. Yeah, this is just the resolution for the acknowledging the sole source of Access Unlimited doing the security doors and cameras for the Justice expansion that we talked about last week.
Okay, and this, like the other one, was published according to state law. Questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-91 sole source procurement of camera and door AC systems for the Justice Building expansion with information technology.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, thank you. All right, item 19, Resolution 2024-92, and this is surplus of transit vehicles in our transit department. Mr. Engel, are you on the line?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel with the Transit Department for the record. We are requesting approval for the resolution of surplus vehicles, which will authorize the sale of 2 vehicles through public auction. These vehicles are no longer needed by the county, and we wish to designate them as surplus for proper disposal. Legal has reviewed and approved this resolution.
All right, questions, motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-92 surplus transit vehicles with the Transit Department.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, thank you. And now we have the remaining items is with our airport. Item 20, consent to assignment of lease, AAL 2020-640. This is Double Bar Properties LLC, and the assigner is No Limits Aviation, Inc. with our airport. Ms. Stevenson, are you on the line?
Yes, Commissioners. Kim Stevenson with the airport for the record. We are requesting the assignment of the lease. The hangar is complete, and we would just like the lease to match the hangar owner. In this case, 2020-640 would go to Double Bar Properties, LLC.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve the consent to assignment of lease, AAL-2020-640, to Double Bar Properties, LLC, from No Limits Aviation, Inc., with the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 21. This is a lease addendum, AAL 2021-1100, and this is a lot size increase with Schaeffer Aviation, COE, LLC. Ms. Stevenson?
Kim Stevenson again for the record. This lessee has moved to a new lot on the airport with increased area. The new area is 41,699 square feet, which will bring our annual revenue to $8,798.49.
Okay, questions, motion?
I move that we approve the lease addendum AAL-2021-1100 for a lot increase for Schaeffer Aviation, COE, LLC, with the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, Dave, I have a question for you. Should the purchase come before the warranty deed, or do we handle the warranty deed first? Handle them together?
Let me look here quickly.
Okay.
If you want to handle them together, just make clear which is happening first, I guess would be the resolution for the purchase.
Okay. So items 22 and 23 can be handled together. One is a board approval request of a warranty deed for 10885 North Ramsey Road in Kootenai County, and the other one's resolution 2024-93, which is the purchase of that location, 10885 North Ramsey Road, and I think it's technically Hayden. So, Ms. Stevenson?
Kim Stevenson again for the record. This is the search and rescue area that is currently being leased from the airport, and we feel it's in the best interest of everyone to purchase the property if you feel that is an acceptable solution. The resolution is for $349,258. We request that to be transferred to Fund 30 once the purchase is approved. And the warranty deed just shows the property is free and clear, and that would allow the assessor's office, mapping, and us to update our airport layout plan to take that piece of property out of airport control and off the airport layout.
Right. As long as search and rescue's been there, we've been paying rent to the airport, essentially. The general fund has been.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We've agreed to do this, and it makes good financial sense in the long term. I just want to make sure, do we need to include where the money is coming from
Yes.
in our resolution? So would you like to
Brandy Falcon for the record. So I just wanted to clarify, there's $281,000 left in the assigned for capital purchases fund balance. So we could zero that out, and then the remainder will have to come from the assigned for master plan fund balance. That's where there's $7 million assigned, and so the remainder will have to come from that line. I just wanted that clear.
Yes, I think that's reasonable.
And then we do have a portion budgeted in, I don't recall which budget it is. It's one of Sergeant Miller's budgets, paying rent for that search and rescue building. So I'm sure at some point there will be a request made to the board to utilize what was budgeted for rent on something else, since they won't be paying rent anymore.
I would actually like the money budgeted for rent to go towards the purchase.
Okay, you want the budgeted for rent towards the purchase, okay.
Yes.
So then what we want to do is put in there the search and rescue rent funds be applied.
Yes. Yeah. And so it looks like we can do one motion if we approve the resolution purchase first and then approve the warranty deed.
Yeah, so in the motion, we want the purchase first, but one
Yes.
motion for both.
Yeah.
Okay, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-93, purchase of real property at 10885 North Ramsey Road, AIN 220992, with money being used first from the search and rescue, remaining rent funds be applied toward the purchase. Then next, the $281,000 we have assigned for the for capital purchases, and the balance coming from the master plan fund balance, and that the board approve the warranty deed 10885 North Ramsey Road, Kootenai County, with the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right.
Commissioners?
Yes.
Can I add one additional thing,
Yes.
please? We do have a lease termination that will be on next week's meeting. We do have the signed version, but we didn't get it in time to get it on the meeting with this.
Sure, and
Part of it.
that's totally fine. We can handle
That'll
that.
be the final piece.
Okay,
Perfect.
excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, public comment. Okay, none. Anybody online? Nope. All right, 2:33, meeting adjourned. Thank you.